Good morning, everyone. My name is Ajahn Natapong. So I'm a lecturer in this software engineering program. In this talk, I will introduce to this program. It's one of the international programs at KMITL. I will explain this in English in the first half, and in the second half, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me either in English or Thai. Okay. This software engineering programs, as I mentioned, is one of the international programs where all the courses are taught in English language. The program was founded in 2009, so we are admitting the 17th batch next year. We have quite a large number of, graduates, and many of them are now working abroad and also in Thailand. And it's the goal of this program, the rationale behind its establishment was to train software engineers who can work confidently, both in Thailand and anywhere in the world. Okay, and we plan to admit about 50 students each year, right? And the student will be trained with knowledge and skills in software development. Okay, and also apart from working in industry, we would like our graduates to have the necessary skills to work, to study in the higher level. For example, the master degrees or the doctoral degrees, both in Thailand and worldwide. I think I don't need to emphasize the importance and the significance of software nowadays, right? So everyone is using software. In 2009, when I first joined the program, people didn't quite know the importance of software, but nowadays everyone is using software, right? And in fact, if you look at the 50 largest companies in the world, the statistics up to this month, you can see that quite a few companies are actually software companies or have software as one of their main businesses. For example, Microsoft, everyone is using Microsoft products. Apple, right? Apple sells computer hardware as well as software that comes with the hardware. Anybody knows the company called Alphabet? Anyone knows? Google, yes, it's the parent company of Google. YouTube, right? Yeah, so also Amazon, right? All the websites are software, okay? Meta as well, who's using Instagram and Facebook, okay? Yes, and that's why there has always been a very high demand of software engineers, both in Thailand and worldwide, okay? So before I begin, let me give you a brief introduction to what software engineering is. Many people believe that software engineering is about writing code, right? And many of you have already learned to write code, right? Anybody have learned to do coding already? Even a bit? Okay, that's very good. And many schools are now starting to teach coding from the very young age. Like some schools start teaching coding in high school. Some even started in primary school. And recently, I learned that some kindergarten schools started to teach the coding skill as well. Okay, and I was asked to whether I can teach kindergarten students, but yeah, it's not my expertise. Okay, but yeah, the thing is, software engineering is not about coding, you know. So it's like when we develop a software, we have to start from getting requirements, you know. So this is like constructing a house or an office building, right? So we cannot start by laying bricks, right? We have to start by talking to customers, right? Who will be using the buildings, right? And then after we gather the requirements, then we have to come back and design, right? So we start from the architectural design, then we can look into the other infrastructure design and the interior design, right? All these are analogous to software developments, right? So we talk to customers, gather requirements, come back to do the architectural design of the systems, and then we can then do implementations, the coding part, and then test that the software works correctly, okay? And many of you should have experienced this problem in using software, right? And yes, very often, sometimes when you want to access some website, and then sometimes the website crashed, right? Yeah, so for example, the government announced like this, Thai or what, things broke down. And in the near future, you guys, the students, right, you are going to have to do some processing on the clearing house websites, and usually everyone would like to do it at the time the system is open, like like more than almost 1 million students right, over the country trying to access the website at the same time. And this required special design and technique, right, for the website to be able to cope with a huge demand within a short period of time, right? So that's why designing such a software system is not easy, and people who think that it's easy might end up developing some software that cannot cope with the high number of users, right? And that's why, yeah, we have this program, right? So we want to make sure that the software that is made will make the life of the people better, okay, and not crash as often as it is like now, okay? Right, so I hope you get the idea, right, of what software engineering is. And then coming back to this program, and the program is designed to serve that, to build the students with the skills to be able to develop software at the professional level. The curriculum is based on this international guideline on software engineering curriculum. It's called SIIE guideline. And as for any other undergraduate programs at KMITL, we emphasize both theory and practice. So if you look into the curriculum, you're going to see that there are so many labs or practical sessions. So it will not just be theory. Every week, students will have to study theory and then following by labs so that they can get to put their hands on the things that they just learned in the classrooms. And apart from that, there are projects. Like some university may ask students to do projects only in the last year. But here at KMITL, in almost all programs, students, particularly in the School of Engineering, students have to do many projects in each semester, starting from the very first semester. And that's the best way we believe that's the best way to train the problem-solving skills, to have the actual skill of software development, right? So, and that thing cannot be just learned and tested and practiced through a lecture and paper exam, okay? Apart from that, we also have summer internships and the big projects in the first year, right? So this is the map of our curriculum. In the first 2 years, students will learn the basic of programming, right? So we teach three basic languages. One is Python. Anyone has learned Python before? It's very good. It's good, a very popular, very powerful language used in many fields, right? Yeah, but there are some disadvantages, some problem with Python, in particular the speed, right? So nowadays companies starting to move away from Python because it runs quite slow, and then many more companies are now starting to use the language called Rust, which run much faster, right? So Rust programmers are currently in very high demand, okay? And also C++ because it's a necessary language for embedded system development. And apart from that, students have to learn basic mathematics, basic understanding of computer hardware, and the computer science fundamentals, and some introductory course in software engineering. The interesting part will be in the third years. There are many options for students in our program. So first of all, I have to mention that we have collaborations with a partner university in the UK, the University of Glasgow, and recently we have also launched a new collaboration with the University of Queensland in Australia. Okay. Yeah, so it means that there are options, thank you, please welcome, for students to actually spend their third and fourth year in the UK at the University of Glasgow or in Australia at the University of Queensland. But for those who like to be in Thailand, okay, there is an option for continuing to study third and fourth year in Thailand as well. And for those who will be in Thailand at KMITL in the third and fourth year, we offer 3 specializations. These are specializations that we believe are the areas that are in high demand in the industry now and in the near future. One is called the Metaverse Software Engineering, where students will learn how to develop web applications, like modern web applications, together with VR and AR application, virtual reality, augmented reality. And then the second one is the industrial IoT, right? So Internet of Things. So many manufacturers are now trying to integrate more advanced information technologies, AI, right, into their production. So this is what we're gonna teach the students, right? How we can support the manufacturers, the industry, in automating and making their manufacturing smarter. And the last one, which is very popular nowadays, is artificial intelligence, right? So we teach students how to apply AI techniques to process data and to make some applications that are smarter, right? So we students learn about machine learning, deep learning, neural network, right? Image processing, and so on, okay? Also, yeah, and then between the, as you can see, but between the second and third year, students are required to do internships as well, okay? And by the way, for those who are joined the Glasgow and Queensland, they will get double degrees, right? So one from KMITL and one from either Glasgow or Queensland, okay? And so I won't go, these are all the courses the students in this program will be studying. So yeah, you can see that these are the courses the first 2 years. Everyone in the program studied the same courses in the first 2 years, okay? And then, yes, the green courses don't have math. So math is important because the students need math to do computer science. They need math to do AI, right? And also, there are some, these are the yellow courses are basic course in computer hardware, okay? And then for those who studied in year 3 and year 4, those will be the courses in year at KMITL. And this course is in light blue here, this full blue, and this one. These courses are specific to each specialization. So for those in the first track, they can learn about computer graphics and mixed reality, learn about distributed computing, web development, okay? And for those in the second track, they learn like real-time system, industrial IoT, cyber physical system, industry 4.0. And for those in the AI track, they learn machine learning, like deep learning, data science, data analytics, right? Okay. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit more about our collaborations with Glasgow and Queensland. I think we have collaboration with Glasgow for more than 12 years, okay? There have already been more than 6 batches of students who graduated from Glasgow. In order to join Glasgow, there are some requirements. The one requirement is that the student's GPA at the end of the year 2 at KMITL must be at least 3.2. So by the way, students, when they join this program, they don't have to make a decision right in the first year, right? So they can make a decision to apply when they are in the second year, and then we look into their GPAs, whether they meet this minimum requirement or not. And also, students also need to have IELTS scores of at least 6.5, okay? And yeah. So this Glasgow University is in the city of Glasgow in the north of the UK, in the area called Scotland. Yeah, and it's very old university. Actually, it's the 4th English-speaking university, and it was founded in 1451 and has been consistently ranked in the world's top 100 universities. And this is one of the buildings where the teaching takes place at Glasgow. Okay, there are also these are pictures from the buildings, and there's also modern buildings as well, not just that old building. Okay. Yeah, so for those going to Glasgow, they will be studying year 3 and 4 in Glasgow. And in Glasgow, mainly students have freedom to choose electives, right? So in KMITL, we bundle the courses, the electives together into specializations, right? But in Glasgow, students have more freedom. Right? They can choose from a large number of electives that are open in each semester. And okay, and yeah, as I mentioned, we recently launched a new collaboration with the University of Queensland in Australia. The requirements are the same as for Glasgow, right? GPA at the end of year 2 of at least 3.2, and IELTS at least 6.5. Queensland, University of Queensland is located in the city called Brisbane, right? On the east coast of Australia. Yes, usually called Gold Coast. The weather there is rather warm, much warmer than in Scotland, and the university itself is well conveniently located. It's not in the city center, but not far. Yeah, so that's a Brisbane city center, and this is the campus. Okay, and Queensland has been recently ranked at number 40 in the world. Okay, in the QS ranking, World Ranked University ranking. So it's one of the top ranked universities in Australia and in the world. Okay. Say again, for those joining Queensland, they will study 3 years and 4 in Queensland. And the system there is that students, for most courses, students will have to do projects, right? It's mainly project-based, right? So you can see that most courses in Queensland will have higher credit numbers because for each course, students will have to spend more hours, right? Not just lecture, but also labs and project works. Okay, so yes, so this is the basics of the curriculum, right? You can ask me later if you have any questions about the detail of this curriculum, and you can also look up the detail of our curriculum on our website as well. Okay. Before we move, I finish my presentation. Let me give you an example of some of the alumni of our programs. So as I mentioned, we launched this program in 2009, and we have already had quite a few, actually more than 10 batches of graduates. And many of them are actually now working abroad, like this guy. Yeah, he was a student in the first batch and graduated from SE program in 2013, right? So after that, he went to Germany to study for master degree, and then after that, he continued working in Germany, in Frankfurt. Okay, so he's still now in Frankfurt. In the company, one of these two companies, I can't remember which one. Okay. Also, Ferry Jarana, so this guy, he joined Glasgow, right? Joined Glasgow, and after graduating from Glasgow, he joined the PhD program at Glasgow. And while doing his PhD, he did an internship at Microsoft in Seattle. And then after graduating, so he went to do a postdoc at UCL, and then did some I think he worked briefly at Meta in London, and then currently he worked as an AI scientist at Amazon in the UK. Okay, so Thanat, right? So he's also graduated from the Glasgow, and then after that worked in some security company in Cambridge and in London, and then he worked briefly as a blockchain security auditor at Crypto.com before moving back to Thailand to work as an AVP in IT security at Kietnakin Patala Bank. Machima Fang, okay, so she's still also graduated from Glasgow, currently working at Meta in London, but her house is in Glasgow. But she works remotely to Meta in London, right? Ham Sasawat, right? So he didn't go to Glasgow. He graduated from KMITL and then went to do a master degree in California, and then after that worked at a startup company called Vida, and then at Facebook, and then at TuneIn in the US, okay? Also, Titi Watt, when he went with him to the US, to Silicon Valley, worked briefly at Apple, and then moved to Meta. I think currently he's now working at Amazon in the Seattle, okay? Chachaya, yeah, so I last saw her when she was in the 4th year, and then she moved to Kyoto in Japan, and haven't been contacted her since. I believe she's still in Kyoto, in Japan. Pichaya from Glasgow, graduating from Glasgow, then he joined Bloomberg in London as a full-time software engineer. Okay. Jilapapa, so she graduated from KMITL, then went to do a master degree in TUM in Munich, and then after that, she did some intern at BMW Group in Munich, and then she's now working as a software architect in Munich. Okay. These three guys, all of them graduated from Glasgow, and all of them started join companies in the UK, like one in Goldman Sachs, Adipar, and Barclays Bank. Alut Jinadit, so he graduated from Glasgow and then came back to Thailand to work briefly at Agoda, and then moved to Germany in Berlin to work at a startup founded by Volkswagen Group called Moya, right, which the company that developed ride-sharing taxi. Okay. And apart from, those are examples. There are many more alumni in many parts of the world. Okay, in Europe, in the US, in Australia as well, where I have my alumni working in Melbourne, a few of them actually. But also for those in Thailand, many of them are now also working in multinational companies in Thailand, like many of them are now working in Agoda, okay, and also in ExxonMobil, working in the software, right? ExxonMobil has one of the software development site in Thailand, right? So there are one in India, Thailand, and in Brazil, and yeah, so they all work as software engineers, okay, and Accenture, okay. Apart from joining companies, many of the students are also pursue postgraduate study in many universities around the world, and yeah, that's pretty much about our graduates. And then talking about the fees, all right. So as for most of the international programs at KMITL, our programs we have 2 semesters. So yeah, when you apply for university, also check whether the university have 3 semesters, 3 trimester or 2 semester. So we adopt the semester system, so there are 2 semesters in a year. And the tuition fee is 90,000 baht per semester or 180,000 baht per year. And for those who study in 4 years at KMTL, they will have to pay this each year for 4 years. And then, but for those who join the double degree programs, they pay that rate in the first 2 years. And then in the last 2 years, they pay the fee at the host university, right? Either Glasgow or Queensland. But fortunately, both universities, right? When we sign agreement with them, they agree to give us some discounts, right? So for Glasgow, this is the normal annual tuition fee, okay? And then Glasgow agreed to give 20% discount to all students in this collaboration. So the fee amounts, the discounted fee amount to £25,000 per year, which is about, at current rate, about 1.1 baht per year, okay? And for Queensland, even more generous, they agreed to offer 25% discount. All right, so that's amount to about 900,000 baht per year. And these are just tuition fees. The living expenses in Glasgow and Brisbane are about the same, about between 45,000 to 75,000. The main difference would be the accommodation, right? Whether you stay like in like your own studio apartment or you live in a share flats or apartments. That would be cheaper, okay? And yeah, you can find out more about the admissions through the Facebook page of the SIIE, okay? And these are mainly, we look at the SAT score, right? So on the announcement, you might see the minimum score, but it's quite unlikely that applicants will be accepted with the minimum score. So you should try to get as high as possible. Those are recommended score, but not guarantee score, okay? There is no guarantee score, okay? Just recommendation, okay? And we particularly focus on the math, right? The math part of SAT, right? So if possible, try to get more than 700 or more higher, right? Okay. Yet this will be also posted in the admission announcement, which will be on the Facebook page shortly. And the IELTS, right, or TOEFL, right? So yes, that's pretty much it. Do you guys have any questions? สอบถามได้นะครับถามภาษาไทยก็ได้ครับครับข้อหนึ่งใช่ไหมครับอ๋อก็คือคนที่สมัครครับจะต้องมีวุฒิม.6 หรือกำลังเรียนอยู่ชั้นสุดท้ายครับจะเป็นมัธยมศึกษาปีที่6หรือถ้าเป็นไฮสคูลถ้าเป็นโรงเรียนนานาชาติก็เป็นชั้นปีสุดท้ายครับหรือถ้าเกิดคนที่เรียนจากต่างประเทศมาบางทีก็ใช้ GED ได้นะครับก็จะมีเกณฑ์ของทางทปอครับว่าต้อง GED ต้องคะแนนเท่าไหร่ถึงจะเทียบได้กับวุฒิม.6 นะครับคือเรารับ GED เทียบวุฒิม.6 แต่ว่าก็ต้องมี SAT ด้วยนะครับคือไม่ใช่ดูจาก GED อย่างเดียวครับCU Tab
มีค่ะ CU Tab 90 ค่ะ
90โอเคอาจจะไม่ครบครับยังไงเดี๋ยวดูในประกาศอีกทีหนึ่งจะเยอะกว่านี้ครับอันนี้เป็นตัวอย่างครับ
มีท่านใดมีคำถามอีกไหมคะ
ถามภาษาไทยก็ได้นะครับแนะนำคือแนะนำให้มีครับ portfolio นะครับก็เดี๋ยวตอนที่สัมภาษณ์นะครับเดี๋ยวกรรมการก็จะดูจาก portfolio ด้วยนะครับจริงๆตั้งแต่ส่งมากรรมการก็ดูตั้งแต่ก่อนสัมภาษณ์แล้วนะครับแนะนำให้ทุกคนเตรียมไว้ด้วยครับดีครับถ้ามีก็จะดีเลยนะครับใส่มาในพอร์ตแล้วก็เตรียมตอบคำถามด้วยนะครับบางคนแบบใส่มาในพอร์ตถามตอบไม่ได้นะครับต้องทำเองนะครับพอร์ตโฟลิโอไม่ใช่ไปให้คนอื่นทำให้นะโอเค ก็ต้องบอกก่อนว่าหลักสูตรวิศวกรรมซอฟต์แวร์ครับอยู่ในสังกัดภาควิชาวิศวกรรมคอมพิวเตอร์นะครับคือนอกจากหลักสูตรนี้เรายังมีหลักสูตรวิศวกรรมคอมพิวเตอร์ที่เป็นหลักสูตรนานาชาติด้วยนะครับก็จะมีอาจารย์จากหลักสูตรวิศวกรรมคอมพิวเตอร์นานาชาติมานำเสนอช่วงบ่ายนะครับแล้วก็จะมีหลักสูตรวิศวกรรมคอมพิวเตอร์ที่เป็นหลักสูตรปกติที่ไม่ใช่นานาชาติมันตอนสมัครก็ต้องศึกษาให้ดีก่อนนะครับมันก็หลักสูตรหลายๆหลักสูตรเนี่ยก็จะมีรายละเอียดรายวิชาที่แตกต่างกันนะครับมีออปชันเช่น Double Degree อย่างเงี้ยตัวอาจจะไม่เหมือนกันนะครับก็ตอนสมัครก็ต้องเลือกระบุหลักสูตรด้วยนะครับก็ตอนนี้ยังไม่ได้เปิดรับสมัครแต่เป็นช่วงเวลาที่ดีที่จะศึกษานะครับเพราะว่าเดี๋ยวถึงตอนสมัครจริงๆแล้วเดี๋ยวตัดสินใจไม่ถูกนะครับแล้วก็สอบถามพี่ๆได้นะครับถ้าเกิดน้องๆมีคำถามเนี่ยว่าเรียนแต่ละสาขาจบไปทำอะไรนะครับทำงานแตกต่างกันยังไงอย่างเงี้ยนะครับเป็นสิ่งหนึ่งที่ยากเหมือนกันนอกจากสอบยากแล้วเนี่ยเลือกสาขาเรียนนี่ก็ยากกว่า นะครับกลัวบางคนก็เลือกมาแล้วเหมือนกับเข้ามามหาลัยบางคนก็เหมือนเข้ามาแล้วก็รู้สึกว่าเราเลือกถูกหรือเปล่าอย่างเงี้ยนะครับตอนนี้มีเวลาก็ใช้เวลาเลือกลองนอกจากศึกษาหลักสูตรแล้วลองมีโอกาสไปคุยกับคนที่เขาทำงานในสายงานด้วยก็จะดีมากนะครับเราจะได้เข้าใจว่าเรียนจบหลักสูตรนี้ไปเนี่ยหลักสูตรเป็นเรียนแค่4 ปีนะครับแต่จบไปทำงานอาจจะเกือบ40 ปีเพราะฉะนั้นก็เช็คดีๆนะครับว่าใช่งานที่เราชอบไหมนะครับโอเค
ค่ะท่านใดมีคำถามอีกไหมคะสามารถถามได้เลยนะคะ
ครับข้างด้านหลังเชิญเลยครับขอไมค์นิดนึงครับผมคือผมก็ไม่ค่อยได้ถาม salary เขาเนาะแต่ว่า ถ้าอย่างในไทยเอาอย่างในไทยก่อนเนาะAgoda เนี่ยได้ยินว่า 50,000 อัพสตาร์ทนะครับได้ยินมานะ Exxon Mobil ก็ 35,000 อัพเนี่ยนะครับก็ Accenture ก็ด้วยนะครับแต่ถ้าเป็นต่างประเทศเนี่ยคือต่างประเทศผมไม่ทราบเงินเดือนเต็มแต่เขาบอกเด็กที่ไปฝึกงานที่ต่างประเทศเขาบอกแค่เงินเดือนฝึกงานก็มากกว่าเงินเดือนในไทยฟูลไทม์เยอะแล้วถ้าเงินเดือนจริงก็คงสูงกว่าเยอะเหมือนกันนะครับแต่ช่วงนี้เป็นช่วงเวลาที่หางานยากนิดนึงอาจจะได้ยินข่าวใช่ไหมครับ Tech Layoff เยอะนะครับเพราะตอนโควิดรับเยอะ นะครับแต่มันขึ้นลงนะครับก็ยังคนที่ยังมีความสามารถก็ยัง high demand อยู่นะครับทั้งในไทยและต่างประเทศครับแล้วก็คนที่ทำงานสายนี้ผมก็เชื่อว่าเงินเดือนจะค่อนข้างสูงอยู่นะครับทั่วโลกเลยแต่อย่างที่บอกเงินเดือนมันวารี่เยอะนะครับในไทยกับที่ต่างประเทศนะครับครับคือแลกเปลี่ยนเราจะมีโครงการของทางคณะนะครับทางคณะเนี่ยมีพาร์ทเนอร์ยูนิเวอร์ซิตี้ที่เป็น exchange เนี่ยหลายมหาวิทยาลัยเลยนะครับเพราะนักศึกษาในหลักสูตรเนี่ยก็คือสามารถสมัครได้นะครับอย่างที่นักศึกษาที่ไปล่าสุดก็มีไปที่ญี่ปุ่นนะครับไปช่วงซัมเมอร์นะครับก่อนหน้านี้ก็มีไปที่เยอรมนีก็มีนะครับแล้วก็ระหว่างที่เรียนก็จะมีเด็กจาก exchange มานั่งเรียนด้วยเหมือนกันนะครับถ้าเป็นแลกเปลี่ยนเนี่ยก็จะไม่เหมือนกับไปเรียน1 เทอมนะครับถ้าก็นักศึกษาก็จะไม่ต้องเสียค่าเทอมที่ต่างประเทศแต่จะเสียค่าเทอมที่ไทยแล้วก็เรียนเสร็จก็โอนเกรดหน่วยกิตอะไรกลับมานะครับอีกแบบนึงคือไปเหมือนกับไปซัมเมอร์เทรนนิ่งก็คือไปช่วงซัมเมอร์เดือน1 2 เดือนอย่างเงี้ยนะครับทำงานที่แลบเนี่ยเป็นต้นครับครับโอเคท่านก็ขอบคุณมากนะครับหลังจากนี้ถ้ามีคำถามเดี๋ยวผมก็นั่งอยู่ตรงนี้สักพักหนึ่งก็เข้ามาสอบถามส่วนตัวได้นะครับขอบคุณครับ
We, the School of Engineering, KMITL, are determined to strive towards becoming global engineers.